Hello, my friends. So, not too much to update on, which I guess is a good thing. The pain in my foot continues to be a lot better than it was before the trial was put in. Sensitivity to touch is a lot better than it was before the trial was put in. And yeah, there's really, not much changing. At this point, I'm sort of just in that hurry up and wait phase. I want to get this trial out just so that we can schedule the permanent. Because, I already know that once the trial's out, things are going to go back to sort of being crappy for a little while. But, the sooner it's out, the sooner I can get the permanent in, hopefully. So I guess today's topic that I wanted to touch on was sort of brought about by something I saw on Facebook this morning. And I think you all know that on Facebook it'll have like memories of, 3 years ago you were doing this, or 2 years ago you were doing this. And so this popped up on my memories this morning, and it was sort of a gut check because it was the last summer where I was walking, the last summer where I was functioning, I guess, as best as I could. And so, you try to not hold on to the past as much as you can, but it still stings. And it just, had me thinking about the whole fact that whenever we have these changes, like, there's a mourning process. Like, I know we only usually think of mourning when it comes to someone physically leaving this world or dying or whatever. But, we mourn these sort of deaths in our life. Like, for example, when I had my traumatic brain injury, it was a hard pill to swallow, losing my memory and losing my friends and losing all these hopes and dreams and, everything that we had planned for, everything that we had, put on that, goal list, it was gone. And there was nothing I could do about it. And there were many days and nights of just anger and tears and, it was hard. And then, 2 years later when my L5S1 blew out and then I lost use of my left leg, there was another mourning process because, there went my ability to walk like a normal human being. It was, let's get an AFO brace, let's learn to live with drop foot, which I refused to accept and ended up having a anterior tibial tendon transfer done. So in the process of mourning, I feel like I've always fought at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, I try not to accept the circumstance. I know that eventually you have to accept where you are and move forward with your life, but I want whatever I'm moving forward with to be the best life it can be. And but I think definitely the biggest sort of mourning process has been over the last 2.5 years. I would have never thought that shattering my heel would lead to a condition that would just take over my whole body. And not just would I lose the ability to use my left foot, but then my left leg, and then my whole body, and then be in a wheelchair. Like, I never in a million years dreamt that, in my 20s, I would be basically wheelchair bound with very limited capacity to care for myself. And so even though, people say, well, the spinal cord stimulator didn't give you everything back, it's given me so much. And, I feel like with the DRG added on top of that, you know, I'm going to have something, something new. I'm not going to accept where I am now. I'm not going to accept being able to just take a few steps. I'm going to work my hardest. Like, it may be that I can only take short walks. I don't know. But I'm going to push it as hard as I can to get as good as I can and as strong as I can, because as like a lot of you probably don't know, like, I was an athlete like my whole life. Like, I played soccer from when I was like 4 or 5 years old through high school. My life revolved around sports. In high school, it was revolved around soccer and grades, and I got a valedictorian scholarship so that I could go away to college and sort of start this life away from home, get independence. And so when I had that traumatic brain injury during my freshman year, it was such a hard hit to be like, I'd worked my entire high school career with this goal of getting away from home and getting this scholarship so that I could go away to college and get a degree and start my life. And that was all gone. And there's been so many times where it's like, it's all gone. And it's like, I've worked so hard, and, people say, why is this happening to you? Like, you're a good person. And, like, I don't think that good or bad things happening to people has anything to do with whether or not they're a good person. Because I know a lot of people who've had a lot of messed up things happen to them, and they're great people, And so, but there's just, time and time again, there's this mourning process. And today was another one of those days. I so just wish I could, click my little, whatever, Wizard of Oz heels and go back to where things were. But the thing is that although things were different then and I had other things then, I also have gained so much now. I've gained true friends, true individuals in my life. While I have lost so many people, I have gained genuine individuals who will be there for me. I have been shown who the real family members in my life are, who is going to be with me no matter what. And, I've gained incredible friendships through the support groups, starting out with the Broken Heel group to, these spinal cord stimulator groups and whatnot. And so while life doesn't look like I thought it would be, I have to be as happy as I can be with what I have. And it's funny because things that make me happy now, like, were afterthoughts in the past. Like, I can't wait till the first time I can, like, go into a grocery store or simply, like, go out of my house in a walker as aside from a wheelchair. I know I have a long way to go, but I have a lot of support and I have a lot of love, and every day can't be a funeral. We can't live in our pity, we can't live in our sorrow. No matter how much we want life to get back to what it was, it's not going to come back. I've cried, I've screamed, I've punched walls, but it doesn't change anything. And so I just encourage you to appreciate the moment, to appreciate what you do have, look forward to what can and could be, and try your best not to look back. I know it's really hard not to. I have a hard time not looking back. I ain't preaching here. But you know, just try to have the best day you can and make the most of you can with what you got.